Hey guys, I'm Jay.
I'm Charles.
We are today at Lacroix to do a little tutorial about your board. You've been waiting for it since a long time and you finally received your board, but before going outside and finally riding it, there's a few things you should know. So me and Charles, we will guide you through different stuff, the Hoyt Remote, your board, your chargers, so you know the basic before going for your first ride. Okay guys, first thing first, the Hoyt Remote. So Charles, what should I know about that?
So when you first get your Hoyt Remote, we're always going to pair the Hoyt to your board. But if ever you need to repair your remote, all you got to do is press the power, the M button, and the R button at the same time. And then your remote will flash green like that. Turn on your board, you hear the beep, and that way you know your remote is paired to your board. So as for the buttons, you have the regular power button at the top left here. You have the R button. So the R button is used for when you have a left-handed style. So you would hold the R button and then it would reverse the throttle for you. As for the M on the remote, it changes the modes on the remote. So you have mode 1, which is a low-end torque area. You have mode 2, which is kind of a medium-ish to lowish torque, and then you have mode 3, which is more or less the highest mode of torque. You're going to have the full throttle available to you. We would suggest that you start off on the second mode whenever you first get your board. Besides that, the T button doesn't do anything for us. It's programmed not to. And that's it for how to use your Hoyt Remote.
Also, there's few things you should know about the Hoyt Remote. There's different color that may appear on it. What does that mean, Charles?
So when you click the power button over here, you're gonna have a color that glows at the round part of the Hoyt Remote. Each of these colors means something. So on blue, it means that it's at about 100% charge. At green, which is the next level down, it's going to be about 70%. And then once it goes from green to yellow, that means you're at around 60%. And then once you get to red, it means that you should be charging your remote. The white will mean that you have less than 30% of a charge. That means that you shouldn't be climbing any hills or going down any, going through busy streets at high speed. You should be stopping, maybe take a break, charge your remote for a while. That's it.
Yeah, otherwise bad thing might happen. Okay, when I'm charging my board, should I always fully charge it to 100%? What do you think?
So you should definitely be charging it to 100% every time you get the chance to. That makes it easier for all the cells to balance out the way it does. So how it does it is that if you charge it below 80 to 90%, it won't get to its balance charge process. After about 80-90%, it's gonna start slowing down the charge, and then it's gonna start slowly balancing out all the cells. That noting is that when you're putting your board for storage for winter or for you're going away for a long while, it's good to charge your board at least once every month, just so that you can get a good charge on your board. So you want to charge it anywhere between 70 and 90%. That way you know that the cells are good and that it's not over draining over the long storage time that you're having.
Okay, so Charles, my board is fully charged, my Hoyt Remote is fully charged. Oh yeah, by the way guys, before every ride, you should obviously charge your remote. So I'm ready to go. Now that I'm on the road, I want to check my speed, I want to know, I want to have a few information about my board, about my riding. What should I use? Like which app should I use on my cell phone?
Okay, so for iOS, we do have the Stormcore app, but for Android, it's not so lucky. We have only the VESC tool app. We couldn't make the integration too quick. So if you're on iOS, I'm just going to show you here. You're going to jump on the Stormcore app, and then it's going to pop up on your screen the Stormcore Bluetooth. and then it will show you that you're connected. So you'll see all the basic stats. You're going to see temperature, battery, voltage, and you can also do a start ride so that you can record your ride here. The other thing is that you'll notice that you'll see your battery voltage here. So if you want to know your full battery voltage, it's at 75.6 is maximum. But just remember that the board will never technically fully charge itself. The battery will limit the charge so that it extends the cycles, the charge cycles of the board, so they can live a little bit longer.
Okay, awesome. But what if I have an Android?
Okay, so if you have an Android, we have VESC tool. VESC tool is pretty complicated as it is. So what you would do is you would press the top right here for scanning. You're gonna look for your Stormcore in here. It could be complicated to find it, and then press on it. It's the way it's detecting all the Bluetooth in the area. So once you're connected, you're going to be on the start page. When you scroll to the right, you're going to go and see your current, all the specific stats that you would see with the Stormcore, except it's even more detailed. So you have the first page, and then you have a second page with the speed, the current, the power, everything there. The problem is that you can't exactly record all of this. So this is good for when you're stopping, you're checking what your battery level's at, or you're doing like a screen recording and you're checking how much speed you're getting, how much power you're pulling. I would suggest not scrolling too far into profiles and all the other stuff here. This is where it gets pretty complicated. This is where you would do any setting changes, which we do not recommend, because the stock settings is the ones that work and that we recommend at all times.
So if I'm a newbie, I don't have that much DIY skills and stuff like that, I should just check the stats but not play too much with the setting, right?
Yeah. And actually, another thing that you can do with the boards that we haven't really mentioned before is that you can back up the configurations of your board right here. And when you back up your configurations, that means if ever you do a setting change by accident, right, you could always come back and restore the configuration of what you had before, just in case you ever misclick or hit something wrong.
Okay, so my board is fully charged, I got my app on my phone, my remote is fully charged. Am I good to go, or there's other thing I should know?
So there's some small things that you would need to do. So just make sure that your tires are fully pumped. When we send out the boards, they're not going to be pumped because we have to comply with the air safety protocols. So charging your tires, there's going to be a little shredder valve on the exterior, on the MBSs, on other tire sets that on other hubs that we sell, like the Hyper Rims, the Le Mans. You're going to see that we have the valves just here. You might need a small extension or something to screw on to the valve so that you can pump the air into it. We start putting these outside, but for the Group Bs, it's going to be from the inside. So you're going to have to do all the pumping from the inside of the hub.
We will go through that in another tutorial regarding the Hyper-Rib, so you don't have to worry about it now. So, and what is the good PSI I should have in my wheels?
So we used to use Kenda tires. They had their own rated PSI, which is always on the side of the tire, on the rim. But for now, we are using Clever tires. They have a max PSI of 36. And after 36, I would recommend just, giving it a little bit less depending on how heavy you are as a person. If you hit a bad bump too quick, you might explode the tire or pop the tube inside.
Yeah, so it pretty much depends on which kind of feel I'm riding. If I'm on just concrete, I should have hard wheels. But if I'm more like off-road kind of guy, it should be a little bit softer, right? A
little bit, yeah.
Perfect.
The last two things that you want to check is that your front lights are working. So you turn on your board, your front lights will turn on green on the circles, and you can check. It has 3 modes, so it has anywhere from a low beam to a very high beam. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then your belts or your Falcons will come pre-tensioned, so it's always good to ride when you first receive your board.
Okay guys, so now that you know all the basic of your board, you're good to go. Go outside, go have fun, have an epic ride, and don't forget to wear your safety gear. So have a nice ride.
Take care guys. Ciao.
Ciao.
Put on your favorite dress, I see you got dancing feet. Party on a Sunday, drugs just a sleeper. Living for the moment, put it all on your visa. Mona Lisa, Bonet, Patron in the OJ. Drink till you KO. Any